Well, another SmackDown episode and another Roman Reigns masterclass in the books. That contract signing segment with Drew McIntyre, one of the best segments I've seen in a long time on WWE TV. That was just brilliant. Like, straight up, no bells and whistles to it. How they put that segment together, this whole Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, WWE Champion versus Universal Champion contract signing ahead of their big Champion versus Champion match on Sunday. How that was done, how that was executed, the way they did that with, McIntyre delivering his dialogue, Reigns saying what he had to say, Reigns sitting at the head of the table, what Reigns actually said. Just everything about what they're doing with Reigns. I've said this literally week in, week out for the last 3 months. Everything they're doing with Roman Reigns is just correct. How it's being booked, how he's being presented, it's just brilliant. And really, one thing I want to talk about, well, actually, before I get to that, tomorrow I'm releasing What If the Elitist booked WrestleMania 37. That video took around 6 hours to edit, as well as like a bunch more hours to plan, script, and record. So that video is a colossal one. It's 25 minutes long, but it's a damn good video. So quite frankly, I think it's the best video I've done. I need to make more of those kind of videos because those are just sick. So yeah, that video is coming out tomorrow. Look forward to that. But anyway, what I was going to say with this, Roman Reigns at the moment and the work he's doing, during the week, in this past couple of days, I've been watching The Last Dance, which, granted, it came out like, 6 months ago. It's been out for a while now, but I was watching it on Netflix this past week, and really, the main takeaway I had was about the greatness of Michael Jordan and how what he was doing was just that much better than everyone else, and that he'd be challenged by, greatness such as, I don't know, your Charles Barkleys, your Magic Johnsons, the Bad Boy Pistons, all these kind of teams, but he'd just overcome, and greatness would just rise to the top. And really, as I'm watching Roman Reigns school Drew McIntyre in this segment, as Drew McIntyre comes out, he's sitting, as you can see, sitting on one side of the table. Reigns comes out himself. Paul Heyman takes his title, puts it at the end of the table, as Roman Reigns sits at the end of the table, or the head of the table. Reigns then does this excellent promo. Roman Reigns just spat absolute facts, saying that Drew McIntyre is, it's the right time for Drew. Drew's the right guy, but he's in the wrong place, okay? Drew McIntyre is a great secondary champion, but Roman Reigns is the number one world champion. Reigns is the guy, Drew is a guy when Roman Reigns is around. It's just how that was executed, how Reigns delivered not just that line, but the promo as a whole. He made Drew McIntyre someone who is really damn good. Like, McIntyre is no joke. He made McIntyre seem second rate. That is, there's levels to it. It's like, as I said, The Last Dance. It's like you take 90s basketball, the NBA, you take Karl Malone, someone who, scoring champion near enough every year outside of MJ, wins MVP in 1997. He's like a great player. But then you compare that greatness to Michael Jordan when he's trying, and it's not really a fair comparison. MJ just wins every time. And really, it felt the same way with McIntyre here. McIntyre, he's had an MVP season, an MVP year, WWE champion twice now, carried Monday Night Raw through the pandemic era, and WWE in 2020 primarily. But then Roman Reigns shows up as the tribal chief, and it really just feels not null and void, but he feels, as Roman Reigns said, like a secondary champion. So, yeah, if you didn't see anything from SmackDown, this is the only thing I'd recommend you go out and watch. The rest of the show, you can skip it. It was a Survivor Series go-home show. There was an 8-man tag match, a bunch of nonsense segments, some qualifying stuff. You can skip all that. The main thing you need to know is that Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns had a phenomenal contract signing. If you didn't see it, go and watch the whole segment right now on YouTube. So, after this review, go and watch the whole thing on YouTube. So, that was that. As for the rest of the show, where to begin, really? I guess Jey Uso and Daniel Bryan main evented this show. They had a singles match because Daniel Bryan is coming back from being injured by Uso, 3 weeks ago, I think? So, yeah, Daniel Bryan returned. He had a new haircut, which doesn't really suit him. But anyway, so Jey Uso versus Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan overcomes Jey Uso and defeats Jey Uso. So the whole thing they were doing with this was that Daniel Bryan gets his win back, so they're now 1-1. And at the same time, Roman Reigns is going to be pissed that his cousin Jey Uso lost to Bryan. So Jey Uso is going to face consequences. Jey Uso is going to be reprimanded. Really good stuff there. As for other stuff on this show, you see this on screen, Murphy versus Seth Rollins. I thought Murphy and Rollins was a good match. I'm just so over the storyline. Like, I say it every week for 5 months now. Murphy, Rollins, Mysterio, Kevin Owens, Dominic, Aleister Black, Humberto Carrillo. It's like this never-ending blender of wrestlers who just have matches against each other week after week after week after week after week after week after week. So then we got another match here. Murphy beats Seth Rollins. Maybe this will be over, but I don't think it will. They'll probably continue this. I don't know how they're going to continue it. It's becoming a running joke at this point, but it's probably going to continue somehow. So yeah, that was Murphy and Seth Rollins. And then, the other thing I'll mention, Asuka and Sasha Banks, they had a decent little back and forth promo. Basically, Michael Cole was like mediating an in-ring back and forth between the two. So Asuka's there with the Raw Women's title, Sasha's there with the SmackDown Women's title. Sasha, essentially what the promo was is Sasha saying, I'm the boss, I'm the best in WWE, and Asuka saying, you're not ready for Asuka, and then Asuka's like doing her usual kind of carry-on commotion, which is hilarious and entertaining. So that was the segment. Then Carmella ambushes Sasha Banks for the 3rd straight week. Asuka just watches it, and that was really it. So that's like the 2nd hour of SmackDown. That's everything you need to know. The 1st hour of SmackDown, if you didn't see a thing from the 1st hour of SmackDown, you didn't miss stuff all, because, oh my god, the 1st hour, you can tell what they did in this show. They put all the emphasis into writing the 2nd hour, the Reigns McIntyre contract signing, Uso versus Daniel Bryan, Asuka and Sasha Banks contract signing, and Murphy versus Seth Rollins. That was the 2nd hour. They put all the emphasis into that. The 1st hour was just, dearie me. I mean, what was it? Natalya versus Tamina, was it? It was like a qualifying match for the 5th spot of Team SmackDown Women. So Natalya is now on the SmackDown Women's team. I don't really care. I really don't. So I mean, they did that. They did some stuff with Otis backstage. Don't really care. Otis and Chad Gable backstage. That's not going to move the needle. We did some stuff with an 8-man tag match. The New Day and the Street Profits teamed up. So the teams who are facing each other on Saturday or Sunday teamed up to fight Rude, Ziggler, Corbin, and Zayn. Following a 15-minute opening segment, they did a 15-minute 8-man tag. Don't care, and that's really about it for SmackDown. So, yeah, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, sub, because I drill. Tomorrow, stay tuned for What If the Elitists booked WrestleMania 37. Should be out the usual time, and yeah, like, comment, sub. See ya.